was just a normal Tuesday morning when I got the call. My friend Margaret had taken a tumble in her bathroom, slipped while reaching for a towel. Nothing was broken, thank goodness, but she couldn't reach her phone. She laid there for nearly 2 hours before help arrived. And you know what? That could happen to any of us. It got me thinking, living alone after 70 is empowering, but it also means we have to be a little more prepared than we used to be. Now, I'm not saying we should live in fear. Not one bit. But I am saying there are a few simple, smart ways to keep ourselves safer, without turning our homes into hospitals or feeling like we're giving up control. If you're over 70 and living on your own, or thinking about it, this video's for you. I'm going to walk you through 5 safety tips that can honestly make the difference between a minor scare and a real emergency. They're easy, they're doable, and best of all, they'll give you, and your loved ones, peace of mind. So if you've ever gotten up in the middle of the night and bumped into a chair, or worried what might happen if you slipped near the stove, I want you to know, you're not alone. Stick around, because these tips could truly save your life or someone you love. And hey, if you find this helpful, do me a little favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to Vibrant Elders, and drop a comment telling me how you stay safe at home. We're all learning from each other here. Now let's start with the one place in your home that's full of hidden dangers and the easiest fixes. Number 1. Fall-proof the danger zones, bathroom and kitchen. When you think about the places in your home where accidents happen, most folks imagine the front steps or maybe the garage. But truth is, the most dangerous rooms are actually the bathroom and the kitchen. It makes sense when you think about it. Hard surfaces, water everywhere, corners and clutter, and let's be honest, a little too much reaching or bending when we're not feeling as steady as we used to. I remember walking into my bathroom one morning and realizing just how slippery that floor gets after a shower. And those cute little bath rugs we all love, if they don't have a rubber bottom, they might as well be banana peels. The fix? I swapped mine out for a non-slip mat I found at Walgreens for under 15 bucks. Took 2 seconds. That alone made me feel safer. Then I noticed I was still holding onto the sink when I got in and out of the tub. That's when I installed a grab bar. And by I mean my grandson, who came over with his drill and got it done in under 10 minutes. If you don't have someone handy nearby, stores like Home Depot can connect you with someone who can install them safely. These bars aren't just for hospitals. They come in nice finishes now, so they don't make your bathroom feel clinical. In fact, they blend right in. Now, let's talk about the kitchen. I don't know about you, but my cooking habits haven't slowed down just because I've gotten older. But sometimes I'd find myself on a little step stool trying to reach that casserole dish above the fridge. Big mistake. No matter how careful we think we are, balance just isn't the same past 70. I went through my kitchen and rearranged everything so the things I use most often are between hip and chest height. It took me about an hour one Sunday afternoon, and it's probably the smartest thing I've done this year. Another thing I caught myself doing was keeping cleaning products or heavy pots way down low, which meant squatting or bending too far. It might not seem like a big deal, but one bad move and you're stuck on the floor. Now I keep a grabber stick in a drawer. Those little reacher tools? They're magic. No more leaning too far or pulling something awkward from a low shelf. And lighting, don't get me started. My kitchen had one old ceiling fixture that barely lit the room. I added some stick-on LED lights under the cabinets. No wires, no hassle. Suddenly, I could see everything so clearly. No more guessing whether that was cinnamon or cayenne pepper. You don't need to renovate your house to make it safe. Just a few smart adjustments can change the game. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention actually reports that bathrooms and kitchens are the top 2 spots where falls happen for older adults. But here's the good news. Most of these falls are completely preventable. That's empowering, not scary. So next time you walk into your bathroom or reach for that favorite saucepan, ask yourself, can I make this just a little safer? Because it's not just about avoiding injury. It's about preserving your freedom, your confidence, and your peace of mind. And if you're feeling overwhelmed about where to start, just pick one thing today. Maybe it's the bath mat. Maybe it's moving those spices down from the top shelf. Little steps lead to big safety, and that's something worth cooking up. Number 2, keep emergency help within reach. When you live alone, there's a certain kind of peace you get used to. The quiet mornings, your own routine, everything just the way you like it. But with that peace comes a little extra responsibility, because if something goes wrong, there's no one in the next room to call out to. That's why keeping emergency help close by isn't just a good idea, it's essential. I'll be honest with you. I used to think those medical alert bracelets were only for folks in worse shape than me. I still walk every day, do my own shopping, keep up with the news. But then I heard about Joe from down the street. He's 78, tough as nails, and still mows his own lawn. One day, he slipped on his front step taking out the trash and cracked a rib. No phone, no one around, and he laid there until a neighbor spotted him. That shook me, so I started looking into those alert systems. And you know what? They've come a long way. What used to be big clunky buttons now come as sleek wristbands or even pendants that don't look any different from jewelry. Some even have automatic fall detection, so if you hit the ground and can't speak, they call for help anyway. That's not weakness. That's just smart living. I chose one with GPS and cellular service, so it works even if I'm in the garden or walking around the block. It connects directly to a 24/7 emergency operator. And the best part? You only have to press one button. My daughter sleeps better knowing I've got that with me. And truthfully, so do I. Now, if you're not into the idea of wearing something, you've still got options. A simple voice assistant like Amazon Alexa or Google Home can call someone for you if you fall and can't reach your phone. Just saying, "Alexa, call my son," is sometimes all it takes. You can also program them to check in with you at set times, like a gentle nudge that someone's watching out for you. There's also the good old-fashioned way. Neighbors. I've got a little agreement with mine. If I don't bring in my newspaper by 10 a.m., she knocks. It's not nosy, it's care. We call it our just checking in system. It costs nothing and builds a real sense of community, too. If you like structure, some folks do a buddy call once a day. My friend Alice calls her cousin every night at 8 p.m. They just chat for a few minutes, but if one of them doesn't pick up, the other checks in. It's simple, but it's powerful. I also keep a spare house key with a trusted friend nearby and a list of emergency contacts taped inside my kitchen cabinet. Clear, big print, right next to my fridge. First responders have told me how helpful that can be when every second counts. None of this means you're giving up your independence. In fact, it's the opposite. You're strengthening it. Because knowing help is just a button or a call away gives you the freedom to keep living the way you want, with less worry and more confidence. So if you haven't already, take a moment today to think about your plan. Whether it's a bracelet, a voice assistant, or just a trusted neighbor's number on speed dial, choose something that fits your life. Because when it comes to safety, being prepared doesn't mean being scared. It means being wise. And I know you've got plenty of that. Number 3, light every path, especially at night. You ever notice how your home feels different at night? The shadows stretch a little longer, the corners seem darker, and suddenly the short trip from the bedroom to the bathroom feels like a walk through a cave. It's no surprise that so many falls happen during those late night hours. Not because we're careless, but because we just can't see clearly. I'll never forget one night last winter. I got up to use the bathroom, like I always do around 3 a.m., and somehow kicked a slipper I'd left near the bed. Tripped right over it. Luckily, I caught myself on the nightstand before I hit the floor. Scared me more than anything. That next morning, I told myself, that's the last time I walk around here in the dark like I'm in my 20s. That same day, I ordered a set of motion sensor night lights online. They're tiny, stick right to the wall, and light up just enough to show your path without waking you up with bright glare. I placed one under the bed, one in the hallway, and another in the bathroom. Now, when I swing my legs out of bed, the light gently follows me, like a little guardian. If you haven't looked at lighting in your home recently, now's the time. A lot of older homes, and even newer ones, just don't have enough light where it matters. Stairways, hallways, the area between the bed and the bathroom, and the kitchen corners where we sneak a late-night snack. They're all spots we walk without thinking, especially in the dark. Changing a bulb to something brighter can make a huge difference. I switched mine out for LED soft white bulbs, energy efficient, no flicker, and way brighter than the old yellow ones I used to have. You don't have to go all out. Even a simple desk lamp moved into a hallway can do the trick if it's in the right spot. One of my neighbors, Linda, had the brilliant idea of putting a touch lamp on her nightstand. Easy to turn on without fumbling for a switch. No fancy tech needed. Just tap, and voila, the room is lit. She also added those adhesive strip lights along her hallway floor. Looks like something out of an airplane aisle, but boy does it work. And here's something I didn't think about until I read it in a brochure from the National Institute on Aging. Our eyes change as we get older. We just don't see as well in low light, and it takes longer for our eyes to adjust from dark to light. That means what used to feel fine in our 50s is probably too dim now. It's not vanity, it's biology. Another tip that helped me was removing those little things we forget about, like the box of shoes near the closet, the low footstool I rarely use, or even that decorative basket near the hall table. All fine during the day, but at night, they become tripping hazards. Now, everything is tucked away or lit up. You might think adding lights or clearing walkways is a small thing, but believe me, it makes a big difference. It's not about turning your house into a showroom. It's about making it work better for you. After all, your home should support your freedom, not make it harder to enjoy. So tonight, before you climb into bed, take a quick look around. Where would a little light make you feel just a bit more secure? Fixing it might take 5 minutes, but the peace of mind you'll get, that'll last a whole lot longer. Number 4, keep your mind sharp and aware. Some days, it's the little things that catch us off guard. You walk into the kitchen and forget why you went there. Or you leave the TV remote in the fridge. I've done that more than once. And while we all have our forgetful moments, staying mentally sharp isn't just about remembering where you put your keys. It's about staying safe, really safe. The truth is, when our minds are tired or distracted, we're more likely to make little mistakes that can lead to big problems. Like forgetting to turn off the stove, skipping a dose of medication, or leaving the front door unlocked. These things aren't signs of losing it. They're signs we need to pay a little more attention to how we're caring for our brains. I had a real wake-up call about a year ago. I boiled a pot of water for tea and completely forgot about it. Only realized when I smelled something burning. Luckily, it wasn't anything serious, but it shook me. That day, I promised myself I'd start treating my brain health just like I do my blood pressure or cholesterol. It's just as important. The first change I made, I started walking every day, even just for 15 or 20 minutes. Movement gets blood flowing, including to the brain. I usually head down the block, wave at neighbors, maybe stop at the post office. Nothing fancy, but it clears my head, gives me energy, and honestly, it puts me in a better mood. Next, I began doing a crossword puzzle with my morning coffee. Just a little brain workout to kickstart the day. Some folks prefer word games, Sudoku, or trivia apps, anything that makes your brain work a bit. It's not about being perfect, it's about staying engaged. Hydration is another big one. Dehydration can actually cause confusion or dizziness, especially in older adults. I used to think, I'm not thirsty, I must be fine. But that's not how it works. Now I keep a big cup of water near my chair and make sure to finish it twice a day, at least. Sleep, too. We've all heard that line, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Well, turns out, poor sleep can hasten that timeline. When you don't get enough rest, your brain doesn't have time to repair and organize memories. That's why I've made bedtime a peaceful little ritual. No phone, soft lighting, maybe a book or some classical music. You wouldn't believe how much sharper I feel in the morning now. One more thing, social interaction. A good conversation can be as stimulating as any brain game. When I call my sister or chat with friends at the senior center, we laugh, share stories, and sometimes even debate the news. All of it keeps my mind alert and connected. Loneliness, on the other hand, dulls everything. You don't even notice it at first, but over time, it chips away at your spark. Harvard Health has shown that regular exercise, hydration, brain games, sleep, and meaningful social engagement all help maintain cognitive health well into our later years. This isn't just feel-good advice, it's backed by science. So if you've ever found yourself feeling a little foggy or frustrated that your memory isn't what it used to be, don't beat yourself up. Instead, think about what small habit you can add today to give your brain a boost. Take a walk, do a puzzle, drink that glass of water. It all adds up. Because when your mind is clear and focused, you're not just safer, you're more confident, more joyful, more you. And that's something worth holding on to. Number 5, don't isolate, stay connected to people. Living alone has its perks, peace, quiet, and the freedom to do things your way, on your time. But the one thing that sneaks up on you isn't noise or clutter, it's silence. Not the nice kind, like birds chirping on a spring morning. I mean the kind of silence that settles in when you haven't talked to anyone all day, when the phone hasn't rung in a while, or when dinner rolls around and there's no one to say, "Pass the salt." And it's not just about feelings. Isolation can be a real safety risk. If you fall or have a health scare, the quicker someone checks in, the better your chances of recovery. But even more than that, staying connected helps your mind stay sharp, your mood stay lifted, and your days feel fuller. I've seen it firsthand. My neighbor Charlie, after his wife passed, became what he called a creature of habit. TV all day, microwave dinners, curtains drawn. Weeks would go by and I barely saw him. One day, I popped over with some banana bread and asked if he'd like to come to our Wednesday coffee group at the senior center. He didn't say yes right away, but a few weeks later, he showed up, and he's been coming ever since. You wouldn't believe the change in him. He smiles more. He's sharper, and he says those Wednesday mornings are now the best part of his week. Staying connected doesn't mean you have to fill your calendar with activities or parties. It just means having a lifeline, a friend to text, a neighbor who waves, a cousin you call every Sunday. I've got a deal with my friend Evelyn. We send each other a quick message each morning. Something simple like, "You good?" and "Still kicking?" If I don't hear from her by noon, I give her a ring. We call it our daily pulse. It takes less than a minute, but it means we're never totally alone. Some folks find comfort in online communities, too. I joined a Facebook group for older adults who garden, and I'll tell you, they've given me the best tomato tips I've ever had. But more than that, I feel seen, heard, and connected, even when I'm sipping coffee in my robe at home. If tech isn't your thing, stick to the classics. Write a note, make a call, go to the post office instead of mailing from your box, just for the chat. Join a local book club, or stop by the senior center for bingo. Not your scene? That's okay. Even having a regular chat with the checker at your grocery store or waving at the mail carrier can brighten your day. And if you're thinking, "I don't want to be a bother," stop right there. Most people, especially your loved ones, would love to hear from you. They're just as busy and sometimes just as lonely. Reaching out can actually help them, too. It reminds them that they matter, that someone's thinking of them. Here's something else I learned from a local fire chief. Emergency response time often improves when you're regularly in touch with people. If you miss your regular call or don't show up to a usual spot, folks notice. That awareness could be the very thing that gets you help fast when you need it most. So ask yourself, who can you connect with today? It doesn't need to be big or long or deep. Just a hello, a little smile, a reminder that you're part of something. Because even when we live alone, we're not meant to be alone. Staying connected is safety, strength, and joy, all wrapped in one. And you deserve all of that, every single day. So there you have it, 5 small steps that can make a world of difference. None of them are complicated, and none of them mean giving up your independence. In fact, they're the exact opposite. They're about making your home work for you, about giving yourself the tools to live confidently, safely, and on your own terms. Maybe today's the day you finally swap out that slippery rug. Or maybe you decide to give your grandson a call and ask him to install a grab bar. Or maybe you just text an old friend and say, "Thinking of you." These little changes, little actions, they add up. To safety, to peace of mind, to freedom. You've worked hard your whole life. You've built families, careers, stories, memories. You've earned the right to live with dignity, to feel secure in your space, and to keep doing the things you love. Staying safe while living alone isn't about being afraid. It's about being smart. And you, my friend, are wise enough to know that it's never too late to take care of yourself in a better way. If this video helped you in any way, I'd love it if you gave it a like, subscribe to Vibrant Elders, and shared a comment below. What's one safety habit you swear by? What's one thing you're going to try after watching? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Remember, small steps create strong lives. And every little change you make is one more way you're choosing to live boldly, beautifully, and on your own terms. You're not just aging, you're thriving. Stay safe, stay strong, and I'll see you next time.